Said it's about time to become familiar with these major documents out here. So I'm going to start with the U.S. Code, Chapter 1, Rules of Construction, Section 1, Words denoting number, gender, and so forth. In determining the meaning of any act of Congress, unless the context indicates otherwise, words importing the singular include and apply to several persons, parties, or things. Words importing the plural include the singular. Words importing the masculine gender include the feminine as well. Words used in the present tense include the future as well as the present. The words insane and insane person shall include every idiot, insane person, and person non compos mentis. Non compos mentis. Sounds like no mental comprehension. That's what it sounds like. But let's do a search on it because, we're on the internet. Search DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Somebody took a old game and made it into the name of a search engine. Non compos mentis. Let's hear it. Not of sound mind and hence not legally competent. One who is not legally competent, not capable mentally of managing one's own affairs, not of sound mind, not having the normal use of reason. Alright? That's why you start your documents by stating that you are of sound mind. You do have the normal sense of reason. You are capable of managing your own affairs. Right? So that's non compos mentis. The words person and whoever include, listen, because it's the first section of the first chapter, corporations, companies, associations, firms, partnerships, societies, and joint stock companies, as well as individuals. Officer includes any person authorized by law to perform the duties of what? The office. All right. Signature or subscription includes a mark when the person making the same intended it as such. Oath includes affirmation, and sworn includes affirmed. Writing includes printing and typewriting and reproductions of visual symbols by photographing, multigraphing, mimeographing, manifolding, or otherwise. Alright? That's section 1. Is there a forward button? There we go. Next. 1 U.S. Code Section 2. County as including parish, and so forth. The word county includes a parish or any other equivalent subdivision of a state or territory of the United States. All right? That's what the word county means in the U.S. Code. That's what we're going through, what the words mean within this code. Section 3, vessel, as including all means of water transportation. The word vessel includes every description of watercraft or other artificial contrivance used or capable of being used as a means of transportation on water. That's what a vessel is in the code. All right. 1 U.S. Code, Section 4, vehicle, as including all means of land transportation. All right. The word vehicle includes every description of carriage or other artificial contrivance used or capable of being used as a means of transportation on land. All right. Next, Section 5, company or association as including successors and assigns. The word company or association, when used in reference to a corporation, shall be deemed to embrace the words successors and assigns of such company or association, in like manner as if these last named words or words of similar import were expressed. Importance. See, this is why it's necessary to become familiar with words and why it's necessary to read this stuff so you'll know what they mean when they saying what they're saying. 1 U.S. Code, Section 6, limitation of term products of American fisheries. All right. Wherever in the statutes of the United States or in the rulings, regulations, or interpretations of various administrative bureaus and agencies of the United States, there appears or may appear the term, quote, products of American fisheries. Said term shall not include fresh or frozen fish fillets, fresh or frozen fish steaks, or fresh or frozen slices of fish substantially free of bone, including any of the foregoing divided into sections, produced in a foreign country or its territorial waters, in whole or in part, with the use of the labor of persons who are not residents of the United States. All right. Products of American fisheries. Let's look at it real quick. Definitions right here. Which followed right behind it. All right. Close that. Next, Section 7, U.S. Code, definition of marriage and spouse. All right. In determining the meaning of any act of Congress or of any ruling, regulation, or interpretation of the various administrative bureaus and agencies of the United States, the word marriage means only a legal union between one man and one woman as husband and wife. And the word spouse refers only to a person of the opposite sex who is a husband or wife. All right, that's spouse in the U.S. Code. Oh, maybe you need to know what the U.S. Code is. Hold on, so let's back it up a little bit. See here, the Legal Information Institute, we have the Constitution. Definitely have to get familiar with that. The United States Code, right? Yep. Code of Federal Regulations, right? Supreme Court, Executive Orders, Federal Rules, State Law Resources, UCC, Uniform Laws, and World Law. You need to get familiar with that. Right now, we are dealing with the United States Code, right? Let's just ask, what is the United States Code? So you get it from them, you don't get it from me. The United States Code is the codification by subject matter of the general and permanent laws of what? The United States. It is divided by broad subjects into 53 titles and published by the Office of the Law Revision Council of the United States House of Representatives. The United States Code was first published in 1926. All those words mean something. Alright, so now you know what the United States Code is that I'm reading. For my family who I'm reading this for, you know what I mean, and giving it out. This is what mama taught me to do. Read. We're going to go back to where we was in Title 1. We was at 7. Oh, back up. We was at section 7 of Title 1, going through the definitions, and we had just went through the meaning according to the United States Code of marriage and spouse. All these things create a connection with this company called the United States. Right? This is the codification of the laws of this company. Like all companies have laws. Alright? Let's go to Section 8. Person, human being, child, and individual, as including born alive infant. Alright? A. In determining the meaning of any act of Congress or of any ruling, regulation, or interpretation of the various administrative bureaus and agencies of the United States, the words, quote, person, human being, child, and individual shall include every infant member of the species Homo sapiens who is born alive at any stage of development. All right. This is as relates to person, human being, child, and individual, as including born alive infant. Section 8B. As used in this section, the term born alive with respect to a member of the species Homo sapiens, right, means the complete expulsion or extraction from his or her mother of that member at any stage of development, who, after such expulsion or extraction, breathes or has a beating heart, pulsation of the umbilical cord, or definite movement of voluntary muscles, regardless of whether the umbilical cord has been cut and regardless of whether the expulsion or extraction occurs as a result of natural or induced labor, cesarean section, or induced abortion. Right? 8C. Nothing in this section shall be construed to affirm, deny, expand, or contract any legal status or legal right applicable to any member of the species Homo sapiens at any point prior to being, quote, born alive as defined in this section. Alright? We'll hit up child. Child in determining the meaning of any act of Congress or any ruling, regulation, or interpretation of the various administrative bureaus and agencies of the United States. Right? This is determining the meaning of any act of Congress or any ruling, regulation, or interpretation of the various administrative bureaus and agencies of the company called the United States. This is what they mean and include in the words person, human being, child, and individual. Shall include every infant member of the species Homo sapiens who is born alive at any stage of development. Right? So let's move on to the next. That's chapter 1. That was title 1, chapter 1, the rules of construction. Now we're going to go to title 1, chapter 2, acts and resolutions. Enacting clause. U.S. Code, section 101, enacting clause. The enacting clause of all acts of Congress shall be in the following form. Quote, be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled. Title 1, Chapter 2, Resolving Clause. The resolving clause of all joint resolutions shall be in the following form. Quote, resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled. Alright? That's what it's going to say. on things resolved and things enacted. Section 103, enacting or resolving words after first section. No enacting or resolving words shall be used in any section of an act or resolution of Congress except in the first. The be it enacted or be it resolved. Chapter 2, Section 104. Numbering of sections. Single proposition. Each section shall be numbered and shall contain, as nearly as may be, a single proposition of enactment. Right? Chapter 2, Section 105, Title of Appropriation Acts. The style and title of all acts making appropriations for the support of government shall be as follows. Quote, an act making appropriations. Here insert the object for the year ending September 30th. Here insert the calendar year. Alright? That's how all title appropriation acts is going to be worded. Alright? When you go looking up this stuff, man, it's going to be necessary. Title 1, Chapter 2, Section 106, Printing Bills and Joint Resolutions. Alright? Every bill or joint resolution in each House of Congress shall, when such bill or resolution passes either house, be printed, and such printed copy shall be called the engrossed bill or resolution, as the case may be. Said engrossed bill or resolution shall be signed by the clerk of the House or the secretary of the Senate, and shall be sent to the other house, and in that form shall be dealt with by that house and its officers, and if passed, returned, signed by said clerk or secretary. Right? When such bill or joint resolution shall have passed both houses, it shall be printed and shall then be called the enrolled bill or joint resolution, as the case may be, and shall be signed by the presiding officers of both houses and sent to the President of the United States. See, these are interbusiness communiques. During the last 6 days of a session, such engrossing and enrolling of bills and joint resolutions may be done otherwise than as above prescribed upon the order of Congress by concurrent resolution. Alright? Yeah, you gotta read this stuff, but this is just talking about how they're gonna pass bills between each other. Alright? That's chapter 2. Go back to title 1, chapter 3. Alright, title 1, chapter 3. Code of Laws of United States and Supplements. District of Columbia Code and Supplements. Alright. Section 201. Publication and distribution of Code of Laws of United States and Supplements and District of Columbia Code and Supplements. In order to avoid duplication and waste, A. Publishing in slip or pamphlet form or in statutes at large. Publication in slip or pamphlet form or in the statutes at large of any of the volumes or publications enumerated in sections 202 and 203 of this title shall, in event of enactment, be dispensed with whenever the Committee on the Judiciary of the House of Representatives so directs the archivist of the United States, archivist of the United States, singular. B. Curtailing number of copies published. Curtailment of the number provided by law to be printed and distributed of the volumes or publications enumerated in sections 202 and 203 of this title may be directed by such committee, except that the director of the government publishing office shall print such numbers as are necessary for depository library distribution and for sale. And C. Dispensing with publications of more than one supplement for each Congress. Such committee may direct that the printing and distribution of any supplement to the Code of Laws of the United States or to the Code of the District of Columbia be dispensed with entirely, except that there shall be printed and distributed for each Congress at least one supplement to each such code containing the legislation of such Congress. All right. Next. Section 202, Preparation and Publication of Codes and Supplements. That shall be prepared and published under the supervision of the Committee on the Judiciary of the House of Representatives. A. Cumulative supplements to Code of Laws of United States for each session of Congress. A supplement for each session of the Congress to then current edition of the Code of Laws of the United States, cumulatively embracing the legislation of the then current supplement and correcting errors in such edition and supplement. B. Cumulative supplement to District of Columbia Code for each session of Congress. A supplement for each session of the Congress to the then current edition of the Code of the District of Columbia, cumulatively embracing the legislation of the then current supplement and correcting errors in such edition and supplement. This is what there shall be prepared and published under the supervision of the Committee in the Judiciary of the House of Representatives. C. New editions of codes and supplements. New editions of the Code of Laws of the United States and of the Code of the District of Columbia. It's two different codes, huh? Correcting errors and incorporating the then current supplement. In the case of each code, new editions shall not be published oftener than once in each 5 years. Copies of each such edition shall be distributed in the same manner as provided in the case of supplements to the code of which it is a new edition. It's a new edition. You know, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. Supplements published after any new edition shall not contain the legislation of supplements published before such new edition. Alright. That's section 202. Next we go to section 203. District of Columbia Code. Preparation and publication. Cumulative supplements. The Committee on the Judiciary of the House of Representatives is authorized to print bills, to codify, revise, and reenact the general and permanent laws relating to what? The District of Columbia, and cumulative supplements thereto, similar in style, respectively, to the Code of Laws of the United States and supplements thereto, and to so continue until final enactment thereof in both houses of the Congress of the United States. Dun, dun, dun. All right. District of Columbia Code, preparation and publication, cumulative supplements. Right. This is all about the publishing of this stuff. Section 204 deals with codes and supplements as evidence of the laws of United States and District of Columbia. Citation of codes and supplements. In all courts, tribunals, and public offices of the United States, at home or abroad, of the District of Columbia and each state, territory, or insular possession of the company called the United States. A. United States Code. The matter set forth in the edition of the Code of Laws of the United States current at any time shall, together with the then current supplement, if any, establish prima facie, on the face of it, the laws of the United States, general and permanent in their nature, in force on the day preceding the commencement of the session following the last session, the legislation of which is included. Provided, however, that whenever titles of such codes shall have been enacted into positive law, the text thereof shall be legal evidence of the laws therein contained. In all the courts of the United States, the several states, and the territories and insular possessions of the United States. B. The District of Columbia Code. The matter set forth in the edition of the Code of the District of Columbia, current at any time, shall, together with the then current supplement, if any, establish prima facie the laws general and permanent in their nature relating to or in force in the District of Columbia on the day preceding the commencement of the session following the last session, the legislation of which is included, except such laws as are of application in the District of Columbia by reason of being laws of the United States, general and permanent in their nature. Right? Then C. District of Columbia Code citation. The code of the District of Columbia may be cited as, quote, DC Code. D. Supplements to codes citation. Supplements to the Code of Laws of the United States and to the Code of the District of Columbia may be cited respectively as, quote, United States Code or USC, comma, supplement, period, and DC Code, comma, supplement, period. The blank in each case being filled with Roman figures denoting the number of the supplement. All right, that's how you cite it. These publications. Right? New edition of codes citation. New editions of each code may be cited respectively as USC, comma, edition, comma, and DC Code edition. The blank in each case being filled with figures denoting the last year, the legislation of which is included in whole or in part. Right? And we're on to section 205, codes and supplement, where printed, form and style, ancillaries. The publications provided for in section 202 and 203 of this title shall be printed at the government publishing office, the GPO, and shall be in such form and style and with such ancillaries as may be prescribed by the Committee on the Judiciary of the House of Representatives. The Librarian of Congress is directed to cooperate with such committee in the preparation of such ancillaries. Such publications shall be furnished with such thumb insets and other devices to distinguish parts, with such facilities for the insertion of additional matter, and with such explanatory and advertising slips, and shall be printed on such paper and bound in such material as may be prescribed by such committee. All right, that's how they gonna lay it out. Next is section 206, bills and resolutions of Committee on the Judiciary of House of Representatives, form and style, ancillaries, curtailment of copies. All bills and resolutions relating to the revision of the laws referred to or reported by the Committee on the Judiciary of the House of Representatives shall be printed in such form and style, and with such ancillaries as such committee may prescribe as being economical and suitable, to so continue until final enactment thereof in both houses of Congress. And such committee may also curtail the number of copies of such bills to be printed in the various parliamentary stages in the House of Representatives. All right. Next, section 209, copies of supplements to Code of Laws of United States and of District of Columbia, and supplements, conclusive evidence of original. Copies of the Code of Laws relating to the District of Columbia and copies of the supplements provided for by sections 202 and 203 of this title, printed at the Government Publishing Office and bearing its imprint, shall be conclusive evidence of the original of such code and supplements in the custody of the Administrator of General Services. All right. Just reading this. All right. And finally, section 213 of chapter 3. Appropriation for preparing and editing supplements. For preparation and editing, an annual appropriation of $6,500 is authorized to carry out the purposes of sections 202 and 203 of this title. So you got the funds appropriated to carry it out. All right. That's all chapter 3 from title 1. Right? And that's everything in title 1. And right there, I'm going to stop. And we'll call this United States Code, Title 1, Chapters 1 through 3.